Hey guys, Gunnell Percher here. I've been asked to be a judge in a contest for advertisements produced by atheists who are seeking to convince theists to consider their position. The intent is to accomplish this with emotion and heart and feeling, as opposed to a bunch of statistics and science and stuff like that. So, I have this group of finalists here that we're going to look at. Now, the criteria are: does it appeal to the theist sensibilities? Is it persuasive? How's the cinematography or the presentation of the images? Now, the symbol is the fourth part of the criteria. This is what people in advertising would call a logo, and it's intended to represent their concept or their identity, and possibly include a little tagline. So we'll be looking at those two as we go along, and not everyone has one, but you'll see how it goes, and I'll give you my impressions of it. So let's get started and look at some of these videos. Now, this first one was submitted by KT45 on April 12th, 2007. So I'm going to hit the button and see what that says. I'm going to pause it right here. This is a good picture. A lot of smiling, pretty people. But when the written part of it comes up, it takes a lot of effort to read because there are no outlines on the letters. So while the concept and the portions are good, when you put them all together, difficult to read. And this is the symbol. Again, we have a little trouble reading here, but it's okay, you can read it. Now, this symbol is different, and it's kind of interesting. I'm really curious what this circle here is. Kind of gives me an impression of a halo, so I'm curious what the thought was behind that. But nevertheless, just taking it at face value, it's okay. It's memorable. It looks like it's 100% original, and that's a good thing. Now, this next ad is presented by Twackius, and we'll take a look at it and talk about it then.
Atheism. So, you want to be cool? You want to get all the chicks? Now you can, thanks to atheism. Trust us, buddy. You ain't going to find girls like that at church. And we've also got something for the ladies. All this, and you can discover the secrets of the universe. So use your heart and your mind. Become an atheist today.
Okay, well, in looking at that one, right off the bat, he attacks theistic sensibilities. And if this ad were aimed at the general population of males, 20-something, and most of them had never thought much about theism or atheism, well, maybe that's a good approach. But in coming toward theists, for my vote, right off the bat, you're coming at me in a way that I don't really appreciate. And the whole message is, hey, atheism is fun because you can ignore all kind of rules and stuff. Well, okay, but didn't score for me. This ad is by Mr. J77 and shot in black and white, original video, and it's not bad. The content, the message, the writing is all pretty good, and I didn't actually make this in my top 3 because I couldn't get away from one thing, and you know, please don't take this too strongly, but and you'll see this when I run it, I just can't get away from the idea that it looks like he's about to grow horns out of his forehead. So let's take a look.
Picture the trials of your life, the most gut-wrenching tribulations. Remember how you called upon every faculty, talent, and resource you could muster to meet these challenges. Remember the wonderful feeling of peace and joy within.
See a little dark spot here and here?
Your strength, your conviction, it all came from within you. It's time to start believing in yourself.
And there's his logo, which again, that's original, kind of bland, and a little too frou-frou fancy for me as symbols go. But a good effort. Alright, this next one is very good, and just take a look at how he positions the written parts so they can be read without the image interfering with them. See the word over here, clearly visible. There's our message and our logo. Now, the message, let's find out together as far as the how, the why, the when, and all of that. Terrific. This is very good. I didn't give him quite full points because these are still images that are probably picked up somewhere and then put together as opposed to original video. And I took away points because of the logo. Sorry, I don't get it. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more and let you see. I don't get that. It's not memorable. It doesn't tie in. You know, if the word wasn't there, that's an ad for somebody who makes nuts and bolts or something. So, sorry. The rest of it, though, was first rate, and the message was good, and everything. If it had been original video, I would have rated it even higher than that. Nevertheless, this one, because the logo just left me out, I didn't actually make this one of my finalists. So let's move on. Okay, this one is another one of my finalists by Vaatrad, V-A-A-T-R-A-D. It's short, though, and I would have liked it to be a little longer, but nevertheless, pretty well done. And let's have a look. Okay, that's about that. You know, the idea of one life is enough, well, that's not too direct an attack. I think that's something to think about. Logo gets points, though. I like that. Interestingly enough, it looks a lot like an arch from a church, and then they got the circle thing in the center. Really would have been cool if that circle had been a little earth, you know. Now, this next one is one of my favorites. Again, it's a little short, but the message is good, the presentation is good, and I really tried to be more critical about this because this is pre-med 411s, and he started contests, and I didn't want to let any kind of a prejudice creep in, but I think I got pretty good reason for choosing this as the best one. So let's come on in here and take a look at it.
Imagine awakening to the warmth of the sun with a clear vision and an open mind, free to think, feel, and choose.
Okay, and it looks like an original logo to me. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's recognizable, and maybe those are big A's forming this circle. I'm not real sure. Maybe it has something to do with the light part of his tagline, lighting the way. And that's the sun or something. Nevertheless, it's original, and it has sufficient interest and so forth, and the message does come out clearly in that. So I would have to judge this as the top one, but not by much. Okay, here is another one by KT45. It's almost identical to the first one we looked at. The difference is, as far as I can tell, that one of the pictures has been exchanged, and it's the one that I pointed out had the writing that was difficult to read. In this case, we have a picture put in that is more diverse, but it still has the same problem. Let's run it. That's the picture I'm talking about, but not that bad. And the logo looks pretty good. I gotta say that reminds me of something else I've seen with like an A and this wing thing. Why do so many of these symbols appear to give angelic references or suggestions? I don't know. Or church-like references and suggestions. Kind of interesting. But this one is blue, and it has a little yellow outline to it. I kind of like the blue better than I like the red one. But the picture being a little more difficult, I think I didn't score this one quite as high, but very close. Okay, this one is by Ask Egg. And it's pretty good. Ask Egg had a whole lot of entries, and thought that was kind of unusual, but nevertheless, this entry was pretty good, and it has some very good imagery, and like the music is really, really good, and the logo at the end is superior, although it's not quite as mind-blowing as one of his earlier versions where the logo was animated. Nevertheless, all of this is, it doesn't cut it for me, because you get through all this good stuff, and then right at the end he slaps me in the face with some comment about fairies.
Isn't it enough to see that a garden is beautiful without having to believe that there are fairies at the bottom of it too?
Okay, and just looking at it critically, should have put into keeping it real a little quicker. It looks like it's over, and I've almost turned away. So that should pop in a little quicker. The one that was animated was just wham, boy, just grabbed your eyeballs. And I thought that was terrific. But this line about isn't it enough to see that the garden is beautiful without having to believe fairies are at the bottom of it, I found that to just take away so much. So that's my score on that one. Now, a few comments overall. I want to say that Pre-Med 411 in his execution of this contest was extraordinarily good, very professional, very clear, and the things that he did behind the scenes worked very well as far as having us understand what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to look at everything. So kudos to 411 on that score. I gotta say that many of these final videos were really good and well thought out. A lot of effort went into them, and I think that's clearly what the plan would be to come out with a good result. Now there were some entries that were not worth looking at. And, I got to tell you that some of them on my score sheet just said not a real entry, and the ones that did come through here though took the contest seriously, and the intent and the purpose of it was clear as far as what they were trying to do. So that being said, I got to tell you, if Pageant Viz Guy had had a better logo, he would have been the clear winner. Sorry, lost some points on that. Hurt you. Looking back at the entrants and reviewing the ones that I hadn't even included in my finalists, like Pageant Viz Guy, I'm going to stick with my original selection from my score sheet is Pre-Med 411 and his April 7th entry, 20 seconds long, but very nice, very good, well done. So congratulations from my scoring. Pre-Med 411 narrowly, and I emphasize narrowly because KT 45 had a couple of really good ones, and Pageant Viz Guy was really good. Ask Egg came pretty close. Of course, he should have with as many entries as he had, but still, cool contest. Let's try it again, or something along that line.